I'm back in Teardown, one of the most realistic destruction simulators on the market, and we've got some new airplanes to check out and try to survive their crash landings. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're starting off with a Boeing 737. This is a hyper-realistic model. It's got a fully detailed cockpit, cabin, and also spaces you can't really access. We're gonna land this thing. Here we go. First person action right here. Oh boy, it's happening. Holy cow, we're taking out the light poles. I'm trying to steer it, and we went straight into a house. Big explosion there. Oh my gosh. Now, it actually looks like if you're in the cabin, you're doing okay, but, yeah, if you're in the cockpit, no luck. Here's what it looks like from inside. We've got some mysterious liquid pouring out of the center part of the plane, but, yeah, actually, this area is not too great. But over here is fine. We can open up the emergency exit door and just walk off the plane. The next aircraft we're checking out is this Airbus A320. It was created by the same person that made the 737, so it is also hyper-realistic with a fully detailed cabin, cockpit, and also the other spaces down below. And it looks like we're already lined up, so here we go. Oh my gosh, this is not going to end well. And we're down. Major explosion, big fire from the engines. But hey, you know what? I think we did a little bit better this time. The cockpit certainly has seen better days. It looks like I may have had a chance to survive, but my co-pilot, maybe not. All right, we got to get out of here, though. This is a pretty bad situation. Looks like that's probably not a great jump. Let's go for the wings here, and we'll go out this side. You can see that the wings definitely got clipped. Yeah, there's a lot of damage back there, but there we go. There's a little bit of fire on the engines, which would make sense. They're torn into pretty badly. This car over here got flipped. It's on fire. Part of the wing is on that roof. But you know what? This A320 did a pretty good job at keeping everybody safe, even though it landed in a neighborhood. I will say we can probably make this a little more interesting. We'll give this a bit of a Hollywood explosion here. Let's just set a little bit of that gasoline in there and run. Oh boy. Yep, there it goes. Well, not as Hollywood as you'd imagine, but there was an explosion. Now the entire airplane is burning from the inside out. We're moving on to the VA300. This is an upgrade of the VA200, an aircraft I've used many times in previous Teardown videos. We are flying in super fast. Oh my gosh! Huge explosion, rolling over, and we've crashed. Tons of explosions. Look at that smoke trail. I hate to say it, but I don't think you're surviving this one. That was catastrophic. I mean, the entire street is literally got fires over there. You've got tree debris. We've got trash cans down. The engine is over here. It is a total war zone on this street corner here. Now, I saw a piece of debris flying all the way over here. There was a huge smoke trail. I'm really curious to see what that was. Oh, all right. Well, it looks like we found it. There's a big fire happening right here. Okay, it looks to be... Oh, yeah, this is a huge portion of the wing and the fuel tank there. It actually must have landed in this backyard, ripped through this wall, and crashed into the other wall over there. I can definitely tell we weren't perfectly on the road. You can see the tracks from the landing gear, the left and right tire hitting right there. It ripped up the pavement and absolutely demolished all that was here. The parked cars that were all sitting in these lots here were pushed into the middle of the road. And there's an engine just embedded in the front portion of this house. We're going for it. This is really difficult to fly right now. Oh my gosh, it's not going to work out. Oh, maybe it will. Oh, huge explosion. We're back into a bunch of houses. Yeah. That was, once again, catastrophic. The two engines are right next to each other here. There's a car just sitting here, half of it split open. And, yeah, the main wreckage site. There used to be a house here. It's now just a bunch of destroyed walls. I think this is, yeah, this is definitely part of the cockpit here. There's a part of the center wing fuel tank or the wing itself. Now, with every crash, we have to investigate it, so we got to find the black box. Now, actually, all of these airplanes that I've showcased have one equipped, so when it crashes, you can find it, and I'm pretty sure they're all indestructible. So we're going to use our trusty shotgun to get in here. There we go. That works, and there it is. Literally sitting right there, both of them. So here's one, there's the other. Pretty cool. And the best way to safely handle this is just to toss it. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is very unstable. We gotta get out of here. All right, here they are. There's one. Oh my gosh, yeah, the plane is literally collapsing in on itself. Now with that, let's go ahead and move on to another map that's a little more easy to land at. This is definitely pretty extreme. Welcome to Wyoming. This is a very large stretch of land that we can land on, and we're going to see how well we survive it. Certainly those neighborhoods were not a great place to land. Now this area over here past the railroad tracks looks like the best place to perform this emergency landing. So I'm going to make a sharp sweeping bank, and the reason I have to do that is, well, there's a map border, and if we hit that, it's game over. So yeah, we got to avoid that. So we're going to make one more loop here, and we're going to just go for it. So here we go. Pitch up, bank over to the left. And, yeah, we're going for it right now, right past the railroad tracks. Let's do it. Here we go. Gear is down, and we've crashed. Wow, we ripped right into the terrain there, and we are stopped. Oh, look at that. There's a train. Well, if you survive the initial impact, you're pretty much good at this point. We can climb off onto the wing here and jump on down. And as you can see, the plane has crashed into a little bit of a river here. The engines are burning, but you can see that the 737 held up very well. All right, we're back with the VA300, and we're going to have a left banking crash here. There it is. Oh my gosh, complete destruction of the airplane there. Wow. You can see where the left wing struck not only the ground, but this power line here, bent the power line over, crossed over the railroad tracks, did some damage to the railroad ties, then went directly into the brush here and began disintegrating. You can see where the left wing, or even this could be the right wing portions, ripped apart. And there's a huge chunk off to the left and one off to the right. If I had to guess, I mean, we know this is the tail, this is the center portion, and I think this is what remains of the cockpit. Actually, it is. You can see one of the pilot seats right there, and a bit of the first class seating too. All right, we'll give this another go here. We're going to try it with the landing gear down. We're going in. We're landing, or we're attempting to. Oh my gosh, it's not good. We're heading towards the map border. And we exploded before we got there. Yeah. Actually, maybe there's a chance of survivability here. Okay, I take that back. This is what the cabin looks like. I mean, maybe if you're in this seat, you could jump out this way and head over here. But, yeah, it appears that the terrain did us in here. These bumps and valleys are really damaging to the airframe. You can see the engines got ripped off pretty early on the impact. You can see a couple marks where the tires were ripping into the ground there. Here's where it looks like the first point of impact was. And, yeah, these bumps here, the little rivers that go through, those can be really damaging to the aircraft. But this time it actually stayed mostly intact. I say that very loosely because, well, you can see most of the airplanes ripped apart. But it is all in one area, which does help a little bit. All right, let's do something a little interesting. So I've got one of the airliners here, and we've got the A320 airliner down there, and we're going to give this a shot. So we're going to see what happens when the two collide and how that collision will look. So let's do it. And yeah, this is going to be super catastrophic. We're going to like bank, like we're turning away, and there it is. Complete destruction. The airliner we were flying is completely disintegrated, and the A320 is, oh my gosh, it's ripping itself apart. Okay, somehow it is mostly intact. Burning a little bit there, but it flat spinned all the way down and then randomly accelerated violently. So there's that. It does seem that the VA200 this time, the older aircraft, did not do as well as the Airbus. But what's interesting is the cockpit is still here. You can see all the controls and stuff like that. And you also have the cabin, which is also mostly intact. I actually want to see how much of this airplane is missing really quick. So I'm going to do this. I'm just gonna go ahead and freeze the airplane in the air like that. Then I'm gonna grab the cockpit here. So the cockpit is mostly intact, which helps. We're just gonna go ahead and plop it right on there. We're just gonna move it right over here. Okay, yeah, it does appear that there is a massive chunk of the plane missing here. All right, this should be interesting. We've got an F-16 fighter jet and the VA-200 AWACS version. This is going to be really interesting. I'm just going to fly directly straight, and we're going to see how much damage this does. Here we go. Oh, my gosh. Well, the game lagged horribly, and I died, so I'm sure something happened. Oh, yeah, that's a big problem there. I'm actually amazed. The airplane sustained not as much damage as I thought. Also, it looks like if I'm sitting here in the cockpit area, I'm somewhat okay. I'm sure the blast would render me incapacitated, but hey, we're still flying somehow. This is amazing, even though it's reading active stall right now. Uh-oh. Okay, we are actually stalling. Well, here we go. There it is. Yeah, that did not end well. But I don't think that was because of the fighter jet. I simply think that was bad piloting right there. All right, so we're back in the Caribbean, and I've got myself a FedEx version of the VA-200. Now, in the first video I did showcasing this mod, I actually set a small fire inside one of these airplanes and wanted to see what would happen. Well, today we're going to do that again. This time we're going with the cargo version. We're going to see how long we can keep the plane in the air and if we can actually land it safely. Well, safely is a rough term, but land it and escape. So we're going to go ahead and get some cargo on board. Rolling down the runway. There is smoke coming out from the back of the airplane. No going back now. We are in the air. Now, the difference between this cargo aircraft and the passenger variant is there's less flammable stuff inside the body of the airplane, which means that's why there's a bunch of planks back there burning. Will the fire continue? I have no idea. It looks like it is, but that could just be the planks still burning. Actually, wait a minute. We're losing parts, so maybe not so much. You can actually see where it's burned to the floor. It's not burning any lower than that because it's not going down. Fire goes up, so yeah. Amazingly, we are doing okay thus far. I totally expected by this point something catastrophic was going to happen, but apparently not. We're going to try to return back to the island here, so I'm going to slow it down a little bit, get our speed down to 80%. Whoa, something's going on. We're shaking. The aircraft is shaking. All right, there's the island. We're putting it down. I'm putting it down right here. This is going to be bad. We lost the wing. Whoa! That has never happened before. We just bounced. That has legitimately never happened before with this airplane. All right, I'm bringing out the VA-300 now. This is going to have the same situation happen to it with an onboard fire. So we are off the runway, and yes, there is a small fire burning somewhere in the passenger compartment, and actually I can already see it starting to do some damage to the exterior paint. Actually, a lot of damage now. Oh yeah, we're gonna have big problems really soon. It's already spreading across to the other side. Oh my gosh, there is a hole that is developed in the cabin roof, so we've lost cabin pressure for sure. That is a sizable hole too. All right, here we go. We're lined up. We're somewhat lined up. We're crashing. Oh my gosh! Complete destruction. Parts of it are going into the water over there. I mean, technically we got it down on the runway, but I was definitely a little short and annihilated the beach here. There's debris all in the trees. The trees are burning. Well then, with that cataclysmic scene over with, I think this is a good place to end off the video. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you all next time, guys. Goodbye.